The music world is reeling in heartbreak and disbelief as fans everywhere mourn the tragic death of Limp Bizkit's legendary bassist, Sam Rivers. A foundational member of one of the most iconic nu metal bands of all time, Sam wasn't just a musician, he was the pulse, the backbone, and the deep heartbeat that gave Limp Bizkit its unmistakable sound. His signature bass lines defined an era, creating a groove so heavy and hypnotic that it electrified arenas and inspired millions of fans across the world. But beyond the fame, beyond the flashing lights and roaring crowds, Sam was known as a humble soul, quiet, kind, and deeply committed to his craft. When news of his passing broke, social media exploded with grief. Fans from every corner of the globe began flooding comment sections with emotional messages, old concert clips, and heartfelt tributes. Hashtags like #RIP Sam Rivers and #Limp Bizkit forever trended for days as longtime followers of the band expressed the same sentiment. That music had lost a true genius, and Limp Bizkit would never be the same again. Sam's passing was not just the end of a life, but the closing of a chapter in rock history that helped define an entire generation. His funeral, held in his hometown of Jacksonville, Florida, was a heartbreaking yet beautiful celebration of his life and legacy. The service was private, attended by close friends, family, and fellow musicians, but the emotion that filled the room was beyond words. Fans gathered outside, holding candles, wearing old tour shirts, and softly singing Limp Bizkit classics in unison. Inside, photos and videos from Sam's decades-long career were displayed, from his early garage band days to sold-out world tours. The walls echoed with his music, reminding everyone why his art had touched so many lives. Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit's outspoken frontman and Sam's longtime friend, delivered a eulogy that left everyone in tears. Struggling to hold back his emotions, Durst shared stories from their early years, back when the two of them were just young dreamers in Jacksonville, trying to break into the music world. "We had no money, no fame, just passion," Fred said. "Sam believed in this band before anyone else did. He was the rhythm of our chaos, the calm within the storm. I don't even know how to picture Limp Bizkit without him." His words were raw and unfiltered, revealing the depth of their bond, one built not just on music, but on decades of friendship, loyalty, and shared struggle. But the most powerful moment of the day came from guitarist Wes Borland, who shared an emotional, heartfelt tribute that many have since called stunning. Known for his eccentric stage makeup, artistic vision, and mysterious personality, Wes dropped the mask that day and spoke straight from the heart. His voice cracked as he described how Sam had been more than just a bandmate. He was a brother, a teacher, and a grounding presence in the whirlwind of fame. "Sam always kept me centered," Wes said softly. "Whenever I got lost in the chaos, he'd look at me and just nod. That was his way of saying, 'We got this.'" He was quiet, but his silence spoke volumes. "We created soundtracks for people's lives together, and I'll carry those moments forever." After Wes's speech, the room fell into silence. Then, in a breathtaking tribute, he picked up his guitar and began to play an instrumental rendition of Behind Blue Eyes. It wasn't just a performance, it was a spiritual moment. As Wes strummed softly, a pre-recorded track of Sam's bass played beneath him, creating a hauntingly beautiful harmony that filled the air. Tears streamed down faces as the two sounds, one living, one gone, intertwined for one final time. The performance ended with Wes placing his guitar pick on Sam's casket and whispering, "Play on, brother." The crowd stood in silence, united in grief, reverence, and love. Outside the venue, fans lit candles and played Limp Bizkit songs through portable speakers. Many described the scene as surreal, a sea of people gathered in the night, singing along to songs that had shaped their teenage years. One fan said, "Sam's music helped me survive my darkest days. His bass made me feel something real, and I'll never forget that." Others shared memories of meeting Sam during tours, describing him as humble, funny, and down-to-earth. For a man who had achieved global fame, he remained shockingly grounded, always taking time to talk to fans, sign autographs, and give advice to young musicians. In the days following his funeral, tributes from across the rock and metal world poured in. Members of Korn, Slipknot, Linkin Park, Papa Roach, and Deftones all shared emotional messages online. Korn's Fieldy wrote, "Sam was one of the best groove bassists I've ever played with. His timing, his tone, his soul, unmatched." Slipknot's Corey Taylor posted, "This one hurts." Sam was the kind of guy you couldn't help but respect. A true legend. Even younger bands credit Limp Bizkit for inspiring them to pick up instruments in the first place. As fans revisited the band's music, Limp Bizkit's classic albums like Significant Other, Chocolate Starfish, and the Hot Dog-Flavored Water, and Results May Vary, surged back to the top of streaming charts. Millions of fans streamed the band's greatest hits as a way to keep Sam's memory alive. You could feel his presence in every note, every breakdown, every riff, that unmistakable bass line that made crowds jump and heads bang in unison. Beyond the music, Sam Rivers' legacy lies in his quiet determination. Even when health issues forced him to step away from touring in recent years, he never stopped creating. He spent his time mentoring up-and-coming musicians, helping young bands find their sound, and reminding them that success means nothing without passion. Those who knew him personally say he was the same off-stage as he was on, calm, compassionate, and deeply wise. In one of the final interviews before his passing, Sam spoke humbly about his life in music. He said, "All I ever wanted was to make something that lasts. Something that connects people. That's the real reward today. That wish has come true in the most powerful way. His music has connected people, millions of them, across generations, across borders, across time." As the service ended, Fred Durst and Wes Borland stood side by side, arms around each other, looking down at the casket. No words were spoken. They didn't need to be. The silence said it all. The brotherhood that built Limp Bizkit had lost one of its founding pillars, but the bond that music created would live forever. Sam Rivers' funeral wasn't just a farewell, it was a celebration of rhythm, soul, and the timeless power of sound. The man who once said, "The bass isn't just an instrument, it's a heartbeat," will forever be remembered as the pulse that made millions of hearts beat louder. Rest in peace, Sam Rivers. The groove will never fade.